I want to play you guys a clip. So somebody sent me this tweet some days ago, and we've just been kind of sitting on it. We edited it a little bit. It's a video. It is about the lottery and about the difference between people. It sort of compares and contrasts happiness levels of people that have won the lottery versus people who have become paraplegics.
Whoa. All right.
And I thought you guys would find it interesting. It's something I've been feeling and kind of knowing, which is I feel like if someone is happy, their resting state is happy, their nature is happy. And when you think about, well, who's happy? You know, we do this thing a lot where you go, well, depends what's going on. But I have a dog, and Phil is happy. And it doesn't depend what's going on so much. His normal state is happy. He's a happy dog. Now, sometimes he's hungry, and sometimes he's horny, and sometimes he wants to get in or get out or go to the bathroom, whatever it is, which is something we all have. But the general state of Phil is happy. And we all know dogs whose general state is not happy. And we all know people who have a general state happy. Now, that person who's a general resting state of happy, when they look in the rearview mirror and they see the rollers and they look down and they see they've been going 81 and they're getting pulled over, at that particular moment, they're probably not happy, but they're a happy person in general. And my thought is that when a happy person has tragedy befall them and they end up in a wheelchair, they get back to happy because they get back to where they were. That's their resting state. And when an unhappy person wins the lottery, they'll get back to that. I don't think a lot of happy people play the lottery because what do they want?
It's a self-selecting sample.
It's unhappy people thinking they will be happy if they have stuff, which, of course, as we all know, never changes anything. So I'll play you this. It's Arthur C. Brooks, president of American Enterprise Institute. Again, somebody just tweeted me this, and I like it when you guys tweet me stuff. I look at it. I try to look at it 100% of the time, and in this case, it took us a couple days to get to it, but it's based on a study from Northwestern University, and here we go.
The most wonderful study that points this out, my favorite study on this subject, comes from Northwestern University. Social psychologists at Northwestern, they studied two groups of people. Perhaps you've heard about this study. I mean, it's ancient, 1978, but it's so good that people still talk about it a lot. They looked at paraplegics, and they looked at lottery winners. Okay, and they wanted to know 6 months after the punctuating event of their lives, what happened to their happiness. Okay, now, first, paraplegics. The interesting thing is 6 months after their accident, their happiness had returned almost all the way to where it was the day before their accidents. Incredible. Now, you're thinking, I don't want to do anything. I would do anything. I would die before I would lose all my mobility. I bet some of you would say that, right? No, you wouldn't. If this happened to you, 6 months later, you would be you. That's a beautiful thing. The more interesting case, perhaps, is lottery. So, if you won the lottery, what would you do? That's a typical party game. You want to break the ice with people you don't know? Go around the room. If you hit the lottery, what would you do? They always say great things. Great things. I won the lottery, good things would happen, right? Here's the interesting thing from the 1978 study. You look at people who hit the lottery 6 months later, their happiness about everyday life is lower than it was the day before they won. So, I mean, not radically lower, but they just enjoy day-to-day life less and permanently than the day before they won. Now, how do you measure that? You say, how much do you enjoy shopping, hanging out with family, playing sports, goofing around with your friends? The answer is less. Less. Think about what you're really looking forward to this coming weekend. I bet if you told me, it would sound really boring. It would be, I'm going to have dinner with somebody I love. I'm going to spend the afternoon with people I'm really interested in, and we're going to talk about these dumb, trivial things. It's relationships. It's the love in your life. That's what gives you enjoyment. And that's what gets blown out by this big experience for people we see in the data who've hit the lottery. And that's the reason that we have these life-ruining behaviors. Because they're looking for the life and it's gone, they substitute it with these audacious and preposterous things, like buying stuff they don't want or need, turning to drugs and alcohol, inappropriate relationships. That's actually what happens. The best thing that can happen to you when you buy a lottery ticket is that you don't win.
It's sad that the government pushes the lottery as hard as it pushes the lottery. I would argue that it's sort of negligent that they push as hard as they push it, especially when every other form of gambling is illegal. They push to one.
Somehow this one's okay.
Well, I think when you pick a football parlay, there's a satisfaction in that because you prognosticate. You took this team and you factored in who was injured and many people are now going, what's the temperature in New England like? And Tom Brady, he's 24-7 when the temps dip below 25 degrees. And that then becomes like you're winning a chess game versus winning a game where you flip coins.
Yeah, your number got drawn.
And you feel involved and you feel satisfied and you feel like it took some of your knowledge and dexterity
you use your knowledge
to do it.
Or whatever.
The lottery is gambling for people who shouldn't be gambling, and it's the most irresponsible form of gambling. And the government pulled a quick one on all of us, which is they just went, the money's going to the schools. And everyone went, good for you.
Good for you.
That's good. It's good. It's good. I've said many times, if a school counselor told one of the students, hey, you should buy a lottery ticket because I have no idea where you're heading after high school, they would be fired, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
That's the worst. The notion that it's going to school is almost like saying we're selling cigarettes and the money's going to schools. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't change the inherent, what it is.
It's also, it flies in the face of everything you want your kids to learn and to do and how to behave. Anyway, it'd be nice if the government got out of the lottery business.
And you know what else? I don't know if you talk to a lot of people that play the lottery, but
no.
Former coworkers or family or friends, anecdotally, they all have one thing in common. When they've said, I got my ticket. I honestly don't know how to buy a lottery ticket, and I don't know where to watch it. It's just never been in my orbit. But I've never heard anyone say, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to get a big mansion. I'm going to do whatever. The first thing they always say is something negative. I fucking hate my job, and I can't wait to quit. And I'm going to stick it. No, Brian. And I can't wait to stick it to this person. I'm never going to give that person anything. And it's always just this negative vomit of energy.
Well,
Brian, no.
Really think about.
I'll never hear that again.
Think about what the mindset is. I always feel sorry. I was at a liquor store last weekend. Somebody was feverishly scratching and filling and talking to the person behind the counter. It's also one of those fucking things where it's it's Starbucks where they want the skinny Frappuccino medium foam with a dusting of Carnauba wax. And just give me a fucking medium
it's
coffee.
What it says about you.
Let's move it along here because you got the person and they're monopolizing the guy behind the counter's time. And there seems to be a strategy, but this notion of, I hate my job, I'm going to play this thing, I will never win this thing, I shall just hate my job in perpetuity, you're probably not going to climb the company ladder if, in fact, you hate your job. Your boss probably gets an inkling that you're not satisfied or happy at work, but you're going and playing this lottery, something you have a 0% chance of ever working out. Now, getting a little vocational training in another field has a high percentage chance of working out versus this. So the people that hate their job and play the lottery are criminally insane because you'll never win and you'll just hate your job in perpetuity and never be compensated, at least to the point that would satisfy you. All right. Just should be nice. And also, I think we have our LA Unified. I think the school teachers going on strike or whatever it is. Whatever this money is that's supposed to be going to the schools, I don't know exactly how it works. All I know is every time I hear somebody speak from at least LA Unified is we don't have the money, the classes are too big, we can't handle all the new students, we need counselors, half the kids are homeless from homeless families, we need more counseling, we need bigger classrooms, we need more infrastructure, we need more computers, we need more everything. So I don't know where all this money is going. It doesn't seem to be making a dent.
Nope.
All right. Nothing, by the way, in terms of students, if you have families that are in complete disrepair, if you have families that are in shambles, you have families that are homeless, you have families that are addicted to drugs, you have families that are chaotic, you have families that are abusing drugs and substances or domestic abuse, child abuse, whatever. As long as you have crazy, chaotic families, you can never have enough counselors, teachers, classrooms, anything. But by the same token, if you have families that are intact and work hard and read with their kids at night and eat dinner together, and none of the things that Carollas do, but if you have those things, then you don't need the computers, the technology, the extra staff, the counselors, the after-school programs, and all that. So one direction is throwing money infinitely at a problem that can never be fixed because you're constantly chasing it. And the other would be to reverse engineer it, focus on the family and the home life a little, and see if we could cut back on some of the things that we need at schools. Stop
talking about that controversial nonsense.
Trauma counselors and stuff now.